How's it going, everybody? Today we are going to be taking a look at the Pewag Servo RS diamond pattern self-tensioning snow tire chains. We're going to see how they fit on our 2021 Kia K5. These are going to be on tire size 205/65 R16. Make sure you check the fit guide at etrailer.com to get the right fit for your tires. Also, we have them on the front axle. According to the owner's manual, that's the axle they're supposed to be on, so make sure you follow that. Get the chains on the right axle as well. But as far as chains go for this tire size on this car, these are going to be the premium option, and we'll take a close look as to why that is. First thing, like I mentioned, they do have a diamond pattern design, which means they go across our tire at an angle and intersect here in the middle. Gets you more coverage on your tire and helps a lot with turning. Not quite as powerful on starting and stopping as a ladder pattern, but you'll feel these a lot less. We do have these square links, so those are going to be really good for digging into ice and snow, but they're still low profile enough that they do meet Class S compatibility standards, which is really important here because we do have limited wheel well clearance, and we want to make sure that we're not interfering with anything as far as the wheel well goes, whether that's suspension or struts. The chains are going to be made of a titanium alloy construction, so they're going to be really durable. They're going to hold up well against rust, weather, and corrosion, and you'll have them for much longer than you would a traditional low-carbon steel chain. Coming down to the front, we do have a couple of different colors, so these are just going to be powder coated to not only protect your tire but also protect your hands. If you're installing these and it's really cold, they'll be less prone to sticking. We have these bumpers on the intersection points, which will do kind of the same thing, protect your tires at those intersection points. But here's what really sets these chains apart, and this is that self-tensioning mechanism. It's really simple and easy. You just switch it to open when you're installing them, switch it over to drive, and then it pulls on this tensioning cable. So constantly pulls on that once it's in this position, and you don't have to get out and adjust these like you would any other chain without a self-tensioning mechanism. The chains come two to a set in this hard protective outer case. It does a really good job of keeping our chains separated but protected and also very compact at the same time. In this bag we have our instructions and a couple extra links and a bumper just in case something breaks while you're moving along. And I have no problem with the chains being stored in here. I think it's going to do a great job. I think it's easy to keep in your car. But overall, the installation process of these chains is really straightforward. It's super easy to do. The only time we have to get anywhere near the wheel well is our one connection we have to make up top on the back side here, but it's way easier doing it up top than it is to try to get underneath our tire here, especially if you're out in the snow. Either way though, we definitely recommend trying it out beforehand before you find yourself stranded on the side of the road, trying to figure it out then. But if you need a little bit of help with that process, we'll walk you through it now. For these chains, your first step if you're buying them new will be to undo these hooks. It's pretty easy to do. Next thing we want to do is just lay them out flat. We want to make sure that nothing gets caught up or twisted or hooked where it's not supposed to be. We want to make sure the chains are facing the right way, and we also want to prepare our self-tensioning mechanism. To make sure the chains are facing the right way, we want this flat side of these hoops making contact with the tread of our tires. We just don't want these hooks on the other end scratching anything up. So if you have them the way that we do right now, that is the correct orientation. Onto the self-tensioning mechanism, first thing we need to do is switch it to the open position. Next, we just want to pull this cable out as wide as it'll go. And then we're ready to get our chains around our tire. To do that, we just like to try to center things up. Find this gap here where our tire is going to go. And then I will slide one half of our chains around the back side and pull the excess around. And once we're good with that, we're going to grab one of each part of the hook that we undid as our first step, and we're going to bring that up around the back side of our tire. And here we're going to fit that in and push that up and pull it back out a little bit so we make that connection and it's secure. Once we have that connection in place, we'll come to the front here, put this red hook into this loose red link on the side, adjust everything backwards, come down here to the bottom now, and we'll just fit this red hook again onto this little stud here on the inside, just like that. And we'll come up to the self-tensioning mechanism, switch it back into the dry position, and you'll hear it tension our chains down. Once you have all of your connections made, your self-tensioning mechanism is engaged, the chains are installed. Just make sure you do the same process on your driver's side. Always a good idea to roll forward or backwards a few revolutions to make sure that everything is in place and secure, but it will keep tensioning as you drive, so you're ready to go. Overall, if you do own this vehicle and you live in an area where you get a decent amount of moderate snow and some ice pretty frequently, you want chains that aren't going to be super difficult to install. These are going to be the best option that I've tested on this car. Every other chain has a connection that we have to make on the back side, or we have to move the car to get the chains fully on the tire. So as far as the install process goes, these are definitely the most straightforward. Plus, we have that build quality, the self-tensioning. Really, if you do need a set of chains and you're going to be using this car and you live in an area where you need to use the chains frequently, I don't see any better option. This again was just a quick look at the Pewag Servo RS diamond patterned self-tensioning snow tire chains. We took a look at and showed you how to install them on our 2021 Kia K5.